The interview is where you close the deal. But before you get to the interview, you got to send out your resume. So that's why your resume needs to be completely and totally aligned to you. So typically with a resume, I'm going to be honest, most people think their resumes are maybe on a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10. Most people will put their resume at maybe a 6 or 7, maybe. If they spend a lot of time and effort and energy on it, they may give it an 8, but most people will give it a 9 or a 10. First rule is you don't send out your resume if it's not an 8 or above. Okay, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, your resume has to resonate with who you are. That means it should be telling a story. That story is going to change how it is you are sending out your resume. So the energy in which you are sending your resume, the energy in which you are emailing your resume, all of that comes into your attitude. And so if you're having fun with the process, that's going to emanate all around you. Number 1, you're going to have more fun. And when you're having more fun, the process is not arduous, it is engaging. It's not dreaded, it is enjoyed. And when you are enjoying things, you do better at them. Wouldn't you agree? You're in your flow. And that's where I want you to be with your attitude, which is in flow. If you can't get the essence of who you are from looking at your resume, from reading the content of your resume, then you're missing the mark. And employers want to know who you are so they know if you're the right fit for their organization. It makes perfect sense, right? Except more often than not, people are listing a bunch of things that they've done. I did this and I did that and I listed all these things. I know Word, I know Excel. And that simply does not show who you are and see if you're going to match with the culture of another organization or can you grow with a company. It simply does not show them that. So here's what I would like you to consider doing with your resume. Forget about what you've heard as far as traditional things to put on your resume. Think about your life. Think about your entire life because you are a compilation of all your experiences. And that's really what's important for employers to know. They're going to know from who you are if you're going to fit with them or not. And vice versa, because you're going to be interviewing them too, which we'll get to when we get to the interview stage. So your resume, I want you to think about your entire life. Think about all the things that you've done and then consider 7 big ones. Write down the 7 biggest things that you have done or been a part of that you are most proud of, most inspired by. You can't believe you were a part of this project, and then just write your stories down. This is just a rough draft. Don't try to put it in the format that it's going to look like on your resume. Just write it with your hand, like pen to paper, old school, right? Old paradigm, pen to paper. There's some really good reasons why you want to put pen and paper together instead of doing things on your computer. There's an access point that happens within you when you're physically writing things down opposed to typing them out, right? So you want to get in touch with that. You want to get in touch with the fluidity of your writing and just what it is that you want to say. So when you're looking at those 7 topics, what you're going to do is just write out in basic form, what is it that you did? Why are you so proud of it? Why does it stick out in your mind? That's number 1. Number 2, you always want to start with the problem. So start writing down what you did, but then when you're looking back at it, say, oh, why did we have to do this? So for example, if you were a manager and you were opening a new store. So the problem would be opening a new store had huge deadlines and needed to hire this many employees. That would be an example. And then you put in what you did to hire those. I interviewed 1,000 people and I hired them by this date and so forth. And then you would put the results. And this is really critical. It's all important, but this piece is really what is going to separate you from the pack. And that's really what you're looking to do on your resume is distinguish yourself from everybody else. And this is how you do it with your results. Why do you make a difference to an organization? Why do you make a difference to a team? What is it that you are bringing to the table that gives you results more than other people? And you want to quantify them. And what I mean by quantify them is you want to have a percentage of increase, a percentage of decrease, how much money you might have saved, how much money you did grow by, what percentage was that. Any way that you can possibly quantify your results is what you want to do on your resume. And you want to do this all very concisely. So you're not going to do this in your draft form, of course not. You're just going to write down what you feel passionate about, what you've done. And then once you've written them down, then you go back and refine it.